Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Our followers of Dhikr of Allah channel, welcome all of you. Today we will complete the story of Islam of Abu Sufyan ibn Harb. When the companions of the Prophet gathered to pray, Abu Sufyan wondered where they ordered to do something. Al-Abbas answered him, "They heard the adhan for prayer, that's why they are gathering." On seeing the Muslim do and prostrate like the Prophet, Abu Sufyan said, "Abbas, they do whatever he orders them to do. Certainly, and by Allah, if he orders them to abstain from food and drink, they will complain." Al-Abbas then took Abu Khuza'ah to the Prophet of Mercy, who said, "Woe to you, Abu Sufyan! Isn't it high time that you know that there is no God but Allah?" Abu Sufyan ibn Harb said, "You are worth my father and mother to me, for you are so patient, so generous, and so merciful. I thought that if there were another God with Allah, I would not be in need of anything." The Prophet asked him, "Woe to you, Abu Sufyan! Isn't it high time that you know I am the messenger of Allah?" If Abu Hanzala admitted his belief in the Prophet, he would lose the leadership and authority that he had struggled for years to gain. He said, "I still have doubts in my soul about that." Abu Sufyan sought to postpone his admission of the Prophet's prophethood, for he realized how patient and tolerant he was. Abu Sufyan thought that no one could foretell the future. Perhaps one day circumstances would overthrow Islam and the Muslims, and then he would be able to enjoy his supremacy over his people and save his dignity among them. Noticing the glance of Umar ibn Khattab, Abu al-Fadl said to his friend and comrade, "Woe to you! Declare your faith and admit that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger before your head is cut off." His head was more precious to him than all honors and leadership, and Omar was determined to cut it off. Abu Sufyan said in broken voice full of sorrow, "I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger." Thus, Abu Sufyan's declaration of Islam was a factor that spread space so that the Muslim army could enter Mecca without resistance. The Islam of Abu Sufyan ibn Al-Harith. The Prophet, who was sent to Allah's community, marched with his army from Medina on 10 Ramadan with 10,000 Muslim men. He left Abraham ibn al-Husayn ibn Khalaf al-Ghifari in a church of Medina. They were fasting, but on their way, the Prophet of Mercy ordered his companions to break their fast to make things easier and to relieve them. On their way to Mecca, the Prophet met his uncle Al-Abbas ibn Al-Muttalib. "You are the last of the Muhajirin, and I am the last Prophet," he said to his uncle. Then the Prophet ordered him to send his baggage to Medina and to accompany him to Mecca. The Muslim army was intercepted by Abu Sufyan ibn Al-Harith, who used to harm the Prophet with his poetry and his sword. With him were his son Ja'far and Abdullah ibn Abi Umayyah ibn al-Mughira, the son of the Prophet's aunt Utayqa bint Abdul Muttalib, and the brother of the mother of the believers, Salama. Abdullah ibn Abi Umayyah went to his sister Salama and said to her, "O mother of believers, ask the Prophet to pardon us." So she said to the Prophet, O Messenger of Allah, your uncle's son and your aunt's son and your brother-in-law shouldn't be reached, though they are your relatives. The Prophet turned away from them and said, I am in no need of them, for my uncle's son disgraced me, and my aunt's son and brother-in-law is the one who has said such nonsense in Mecca. On hearing these words of the Prophet, Abu Sufyan said, By Allah, if he doesn't give me permission to see him, I will take my son and go away so that he can't know where I am. And then Abu Sufyan ibn Al-Harith saw Ali ibn Abi Talib, who also being his cousin, told him, Go to the Messenger of Allah and stand in front of his face and tell him what the brothers of Yusuf said to him. They said, By Allah, now Allah has certainly preferred you above us, and we certainly have been guilty of sin. Abu Sufyan went to the Prophet accompanied by his son Ja'far and Abdullah ibn Abi Umayyah. The Prophet turned his face away from them. On saying this, Abu Sufyan ibn Al-Harith changed his position to face the Prophet at the other side. But the Prophet turned his face away again. So Abu Sufyan recited verses from Surah Yusuf. Then the Prophet, who has sent with mercy to all humanity, was moved and recited from the verse after it. No reproach shall this day be upon you, and Allah will forgive you. He is the most merciful of those who have mercy. Abu Sufyan, his son Ja'far, and Abdullah ibn Umayyah said, We bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and we bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. And then Abu Sufyan recited a couple of his poetic verses in which he said that the day beheld a banner of war, so that the armies of the pagans would defeat those of Muhammad. He was bewildered in darkness, but now he is guided to the truth by someone who changed his soul and directed him to the truth, although he bad, coerced, and opposed him severely. The Prophet tapped his chest and said, You drove me out. Abu Sufyan lowered his head in embarrassment, feeling guilty. The Prophet said, Ali, teach your cousin how to make ablution and let him know what the Sunnah is. Then bring him back to me. Then Ali ibn Abi Talib went out with his cousin Abu Sufyan ibn Al-Harith. The Prophet called to Ali, announced to the people that Allah's Prophet is pleased with Abu Sufyan ibn Al-Harith, so they should be pleased with him as well. To here we finished our video for today. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and don't forget to press like for this video, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.